Hello everyone, this is John35 doing another Transformers review, and as you can see these are another pair of G1 Transformer cassettes. Unlike the other ones I've done so far, these are Autobot ones, which would obviously belong to the G1 Blaster figure. Although they didn't come out at the same time, these were a later edition, as in like the previous review I've done of Squawk Talk and Beastbox. These also were a two-packed set of cassettes, and these ones again are a combiner cassette, as in Squawk Talk and Beastbox. These cassettes are called Raindance, which is the blue one, and you've got Grand Slam, which is the red one there. As with like Beastbox and even like the Rat Bat and that, the later cassettes weren't stickers, they were what would you call it, more of a detail that's added on as a printing rather than stuck on. I'll bring that in so you can see. Have to forgive the noisy moped going past. And there you go, and that's Grand Slam up close. And as you can see, there's an Autobot symbol as well. And not the most convincing cassette mode for Grand Slam, but Raindance is a very neat cassette mode. It's quite tidy with hardly any sort of gaps and that visible. They came, as you can see, with some chromed weapons. Raindance had two of the same, almost like missile type weapons, and Grand Slam came with two smaller guns which are handed, so they got the holes on opposing sides like so, and that works in conjunction with the larger weapon, which, as you can see if I hold it around like that, has a post only on one side. Now, unlike the other cassettes, these two Autobot ones don't have an alt mode of either a robot or a creature. They transform into vehicles, which is, I believe, they're the only ones what do that. I'll start with Grand Slam. You pull out the side of the cassette, flip it over, and you lift up this piece and flip it round to the top, and then you just, let's see now, you pull these out to the side, I believe. Trying to remember how to do it now. It's not the most convincing transformation. That's it, you pull them back round in line that way and drop that back on the top, flip these little grey guns forward, and that's basically it. It's supposed to be a tank. Now this does work in conjunction with the silver guns, and if I show you where I was on about putting the main weapon into the post there on this one, and then you can pop him on the holes, the weapons in the top there, so it's on the turret. It gives him a little bit more playability, but there's no articulation other than because that's posted in and held in position by those two weapons. The only articulation comes from the barrel being able to pivot within the other chromed weapon. Not very well, I'd have to say. And as I say, it's not the most convincing tank mode. It's got a few little details of tank treads and wheels you just about make out on the side there, but not, as I say, not the greatest cassette version. And as with Raindance, he transforms. If you see the back of the cassette there, another Autobot logo. You flip these parts out and round, and you flip the grey piece up and over, and these just fold out straight and push in, the grey bit folds down and you effectively got a small jet, and obviously these weapons then can go on top. So they're actually their individual alt modes, not the most exciting alt modes of all the Transformers, but of course they do have the same feature as Beast Box and Scorp Talk, in so much as you take the weapons back off and you can pull these bits back on raindance. Now I believe, I've got to be careful because I'm trying to remember now, you can flip them round, and I think you can see where this is going. You take side bits round on Grand Slam, and then as you flip him round you can see he's got a head there. This piece folds over behind the head, and then as you can see you've got a hole there in the bottom of Grand Slam and a post on top of raindance. They connect like that, and you can then close up the grey bit onto him. It doesn't completely shut, so it sticks forward slightly, and then you fold these down to the side, untab the little fists out of the side of the arms like so, and there you've got a little robot, combiner robot cassette, and his name is Slamdance when he's combined. Now he doesn't have a great deal of articulation, there's no leg or knee articulation, no arm articulation other than up to the sides, but you can flip his little tank guns up and over, a bit like the G1 sort of car Transformers, and you can fit his weapons onto his arms. They peg in to the space on the side of his arms, a bit like a Decepticon jet sort of mode, and you can fit the smaller guns into his legs, a little bit tighter, and you can fit on, I believe, his main gun just to hold it up into the holes on the back of Grand Slam. So he looks quite well armed, but no posability really, but that's not unusual with G1 figures. But it is an unusual figure, again not available as far as I know in Europe, so obviously this took a bit of tracking down for me, but I think you agree, another interesting little sort of figure from the G1 line. Certainly one I'd recommend if you're into your cassettes. He's not the easiest one to find, or sort of like to find complete, but he's certainly a nice addition to the line of Blasters figures. So I hope you enjoyed that G1 review, and I'll see you again for another Transformers review.